Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this afternoon, or this evening, or this morning, depending upon what time of day you're watching this content. I am, of course, Greg Guy, joined here in studio by Mr. Casey. Obviously, we're running a duet this week. Obviously, we could not get a third party in here due to, people were sick, people have weddings to go to, a whole lot of different factors and everything, but we will muscle through and we will record the next iteration of Bang Head History. So, I'm going to toss it over to you, Mr. Casey.
Well, this Christmas one isn't basically really about history. I mean, in some ways it kind of is, but this is kind of like Christmas around the world and how different cultures and different regions in the world celebrate Christmas.
Okay.
So, I'd like to say straight off the bat that Christmas is traditionally in modern times isn't so much about religion, at least in the U.S. and in a lot of the more first world type countries. It's more driven commercially than it is in religion, as it has been in the past.
Real quick, I did hear something where a lot of stores and everything make 80% of their net revenue throughout the year during the period of time of, I guess, from after Thanksgiving to right after the New Year.
Yeah, that's definitely true. There's a lot of companies out there that depend on Christmas and the profits they get from it, and there's many companies that are 100% dependent. There's a lot of businesses 100% dependent on the Christmas season.
Yeah, Christmas tree farms.
Yep, that's right.
I guess people that manufacture Christmas lights.
Yeah, well, Christmas lights, yeah, but I'm sure they
stocking manufacturers.
Stocking manufacturers.
Yeah, I guess there is a bunch.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of hams getting made for Christmas too.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get the ham at any point in time throughout the year.
Right, but it's
I know we're kind of off topic already, but
right.
I went to the store the day after Thanksgiving, hoping to get a deal on a turkey because I didn't buy one this year.
Yep.
Turkey was $50 fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more expensive this year than it has been in years past.
Versus 39 cents a pound. You could have got turkey for $8.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
A lot of food in general. A lot of Christmas. Oh, not just Christmas stuff. A lot of things in general just nowadays are more expensive than they have been in the past, and a lot of it's due to the lockdowns, manufacturing, supply chain, right?
So on and so forth. But anyway, back on topic.
Right. Traditionally, though, Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Obviously, in the Christian religion, and it's very diverse around the world how people celebrate Christmas. Because obviously, there's a lot of holidays that when Christianity becomes the prominent religion in areas, they've kind of merged their celebrations in with the Christmas season and the celebration of the birth of Christ. We'll go with we'll start with the areas. Sweden and Finland, they celebrate up to the time of Christmas. They celebrate Saint Lucia, who is the patron saint of the blind, and Lucia is derived from the word lux. It's a Latin word meaning lux, which means light, and obviously that celebration is based on light. So when you get the Christmas lights and all that stuff, they're probably derived from that version.
Okay. Is this the reason that, Christmas lights became a thing?
You would have to say that it's definitely, probably, that's probably the truth.
Okay.
in Finland specifically, they choose a single girl nationally to represent Saint Lucia, and she is paraded through the streets by torchbearers.
Okay.
Which kind of seems like if you have a strange mind, you could think of it as a weird thing. But
shame.
That is nothing. That is nothing
shame.
like.
I don't know. It's just what came to my mind.
Now we move on.
Game of Thrones, great show.
We move on to Germany, which is the birthplace of the Christmas tree, where around the 17th century they would decorate evergreen trees to celebrate the winter solstice, even during the pagan times. And in fact, in Germany they celebrated Odin and the final hunt of this and the hunt. They also, I would like to add that this isn't something that I found, but something that I remember because I grew up in Germany.
First-hand knowledge.
Right. Advent calendars are a big thing there. You can buy Advent calendars here, but they're not quite as popular. Advent calendars are the calendar with that you pop out the cardboard pieces and you got chocolate in there. So every day in December you get a piece of chocolate. With that day, you open that window up.
You know what I remember about Advent calendars from when I was a child?
What's that?
Every single one of them would have a gummy bear in it. It was always hard as shit.
Mine, I've never had a gummy bear one. I always had a one with chocolates in it, which I would when I was a kid. Well, even now, I'm not really super huge fan of chocolate.
Yeah, I don't like chocolate.
So I would actually just give the chocolate to my mom or my sister or whoever wanted it because I just wanted to open the window. It was like an event to me to open the thing during the Christmas season.
Advent calendars.
Also, nowadays they're doing it for diversity reasons, but in Germany was the first time I ever saw Black Santa, which is in Germany they're called Moors.
What Santa is called?
No, people of African descent.
Oh.
They're called Moors. There, that is not a derogatory term whatsoever. But if you think about it, Santa or Saint Nicholas being a monk derived from Turkey, you would actually consider the fact that Saint Nicholas was more than likely at least of Middle Eastern descent, or something like that, possibly. Now we can move on to England, which is the birthplace of the Christmas card. In the 1800s, when post offices actually started becoming more and more, they became common and they became efficient. I'm sure before that you probably had some guy on horseback delivering cards or mail from place to place. But when the post office became prevalent and then they started selling cards, and then people were using it to sell cards, that's when they became popular. Also, mistletoe. Mistletoe's from England. It comes from Celtic and Teutonic tribes. They were hung in their doorways to ward off evil spirits, and medically they were used to boost fertility. So that is where the thing you hang the mistletoe in the doorway, and then the two people have to kiss. That came from Celtic and Teutonic tribes.
Fair enough.
Another thing that came from England is caroling. So musicians would travel during the season from the houses of wealthy people or people of means, and basically they would not like today where people just do it just to spread the Christmas spirit, but they wanted food, or they wanted money for their services, for coming and going to door, and performing for people of means. We're going to move to Greece now.
Greece. Home of the Spartans, correct?
Yes, Spartans, obviously, Macedonians, Trojans. You can just name all the different city-states from back in the day. But Christmas obviously wasn't around back then. They were still believing in... Zeus is a Roman term. What was...
No, Zeus was a Greek.
Zeus was Greek? Oh yeah, Jupiter
was
Zeus in
was
Roman.
the Roman
Right.
version.
So in Greece, they believe that goblins cause chaos during the 12 days of Christmas, and then
I like
right.
I like it already.
So there's some terrifying goblins in Greece that run around during the Christmas season and just screw things up.
Do we have a description of one of these goblins?
I do not have a description. I just had it was just like a quick thing that I was reading, and that when they exchange their Christmas gifts, though, it's exchanged on January 1st for the New Year's.
I kind of imagine that as 12 days of Halloween, almost to an extent.
Right, but there's only one day of Halloween. I
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know what they believe
I
about.
envision this 12
Right.
days of Christmas with the goblins and everything is 12 days of Halloween.
Maybe next year when I
Just possibly with snow.
maybe next year for Halloween I'll do how different cultures might celebrate Halloween. I don't know if Halloween is just
We'll worry about that.
we'll worry about
October.
that.
It's a long way away.
So we have to move on to the Southern Hemisphere now, and you have to remember that up here in December
it's winter and it's summer.
it's
down
winter
there.
here,
Right.
it's summer there. So in Australia, for example, Christmas is celebrated with beach activities, and they have barbecues, and they have
Australia, I'm coming for you.
they have a
Sounds fun.
they cover their
As soon as
houses.
the lockdowns are over.
They cover their houses. I don't know if lockdowns are ever going to happen in Australia. I'll be honest with you.
No, if they ever end.
Yeah. So they cover their houses in a specific bush during the holidays that apparently they bloom white flowers, and then when they start dying off, they turn red, and it kind of gives you the Christmas like coloring, like red and green.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Also, here's a fact. It's not a well-known fact, but Santa Claus and his reindeer get tired by the time they get to Australia. You know that? And the reindeer get tired, and he replaces them. Well, first of all, you're talking about flying reindeer. Second of all, so it's not much different than that the reindeer might get tired, and they might have to use flying kangaroos when they go over Australia.
No, there's no way that's a real thing. There's no way that's...
I read it on the internet.
If
so
you are watching this in Australia right now, please let us know down in the comments if that is a real thing.
So these...
at least a real thing that you tell your kids or whatever.
So there's
I want to know. Please.
flying kangaroos in Australia.
Flying kangaroos in Australia. You heard it here first.
And then moving on to Southern America. Now, obviously,
Southern America?
yes, South America, the southern part of the Americas,
Okay.
as compared to the central part of Americas and the northern part of Americas.
The northern part of America?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to remember that more of a Latin culture. They're far more religious.
Yeah,
Far
much
more
more
religiously
Catholic,
based, right?
for the
So
most part.
it's far more stringent, and in that part of the world, I mean, we have nativity scenes around here, and people display nativity scenes in their houses, and when they go to church, they normally have nativity scene activities or plays. But down there, the nativity scene is the centralized part of their celebration. As with, I would feel personally, I would say that between Santa Claus and the Christmas tree in the United States are probably the main attractions of Christmas here. But down there, it would definitely be the nativity scene.
I don't know. I'm venture to say, I mean, you've seen some of these houses with these ridiculous amounts of light displays,
Right.
and so on and so forth. That's, I mean, more or less in America, the United States.
Right.
That's more or less kind of like the main thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just go way too far with it.
The Christmas light business is a thriving business in the United States of America. That's definitely for sure.
So it's apparently the electric business this time of year, anyway.
Also, another thing you might find in South America is during Christmas is fireworks. I mean, you don't see fireworks in the United States for Christmas. I mean, shortly down the road.
Yeah, I was going to say that's more of a New Year's thing.
Yeah, July 4th and New Year's are more of like the fireworks type holidays in the United States. And there's differences between different factions or cultures in South America, where there might be, they call them, so Santa Claus is called Papa Noel in
I remember this from Spanish class.
Right, so Papa Noel, who's Santa Claus, might be the one that's bringing you gifts. Also,
Feliz Navidad, South America.
It could be El Niño Dios might bring you presents, which is the baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus might bring you presents in South America.
I don't remember that from Spanish class, but
Sweet, little, tender, cute baby Jesus
okay.
might bring you presents.
Are you having a picture in your mind right now?
Shake and bake.
Fair enough.
All right, another person might bring you presents in South America. The Reyes Magos. I probably completely said that wrong, but they are the three wise men. They may stop by.
Actually, I believe Reyes is kings in Spanish.
Oh, the three kings. Then
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I just read a little bit. I tried to throw in a whole bunch of stuff all together.
I do know a little bit of Spanish.
I do not. I know more German. All right. There's a special decoration that's also used in South America. They are called the globos, which when I looked it up on the internet, it turned out to be like globos is the word for balloon in Spanish, but they're not technically balloons. But
is it like a reference to like the globe?
Well, they are round decorated objects, kind of like if you're familiar with Chinese lanterns, how they work.
Okay.
They work.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They work kind of like a hot air balloon in a sense, where they have like a flame and they're decorated with a candle, and they float up in the air and they're decorated. So in South America, instead of they might have Christmas lights too, but the more prominent decoration is the globos, which is a decorated hot air balloon style candle.
Makes you wonder if that's because electricity is somewhat scarce down there.
Yeah, I definitely had that thought too, and since you can say what you want about the United States and the first world countries.
I would have to assume that it's probably not. It's probably just tradition that kept on. I would assume their infrastructure and everything is a lot better.
No, that's true, and that's what I was saying. That infrastructure here is a lot better. There's power is widely available in almost every single corner of this country, and in the first world countries. Power is not as widely available in every other country. We have to remember that we live in this bubble where we have things so well. We have clean water, we have electricity, we have any form of entertainment that's possibly available to us, and those kind of things are not available in other countries.
But more or less, I was getting to the point that it's more like, tradition now.
Right.
Because that's what they've done for so long. Because
Right.
they might not have had, these things.
I'll be interested when I heard about these globos things, these kind of floating decorated air balloons. I kind of want to make one now. But I remember how because I've never seen a hot air balloon be flown in the middle of winter. I'm not sure if air, quite frankly, works the same as it would because they're doing it in the summer. They're doing it in their summer. So I'll be honest. I'm kind of interested in making one of these
Right.
these Christmas decorations, floating hot air Christmas decorations. It's the first time I heard of it, and I kind of find it quite interesting.
There you go. I mean, possibly a video for another day.
So that's all I have right now for Christmas around the world.
Christmas around the world. There we go. Another iteration of Bang Hit History. Informative. I feel like I learned something. I did go off on a few tangents too, but at the same point in time, that's what makes this whole thing fun. Well, Miss Casey, thank you for putting that together here this week. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm, of course, Gregor Guy. Hey, thank you for joining us for Christmas.
Christmas around the world.
Christmas around the world. That's what we're called.
Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Happy New Year.